It wasn't a crash that broke me. It wasn't some black swan event or a headline that moved the market against me. It was a Wednesday afternoon, and the silence in my office was the loudest thing I'd ever heard. I'd just closed out a trade, a small loss on paper, but a complete demolition in reality, because I'd broken every single rule I'd ever written for myself. I'd seen the divergence, I'd drawn the line in the sand for my stop, and when price tapped it, I moved the line, just a little, just to give it room to breathe. You know what breathes in that scenario? Your account. It gasped its last breath. I watched it bleed lower, minute by minute, paralyzed not by fear but by stubbornness. I was married to my analysis. I told the story of this trade to myself so convincingly that I couldn't hear the market screaming a different story. By the time I finally pulled the plug, the loss was 5 times what I'd promised myself I'd ever risk. And that's when I heard it. Not a scream, but a quiet, cold voice in my head. You did this. Again. I'm Jesse Livermore, and I'm going to tell you something your ego doesn't want to hear. You have a trading plan, you have rules, you have a system, but you have something else, too. A saboteur. A ghost in the machine that overrides your logic the moment real money is on the line. It's the part of you that thinks rules are for other people. The part that believes this time is different. The part that confuses a hunch with an insight and a gamble with a calculated risk. Think about your last major mistake. Not the loss, everyone has those. The mistake, the one where you knew better. Was it revenge trading after a win, thinking you were invincible? Was it hesitating on a perfect entry because last week's scar was still throbbing? Was it breaking your position sizing rules because you just knew this one was a sure thing? In that moment, who was in charge? Was it the professional you're trying to become? Or was it a scared kid, or an arrogant punk, or a desperate gambler you thought you'd left behind years ago? That's the ghost. And it's not hiding in the charts. It's hiding in your blind spots, in the stories you tell yourself to justify the unjustifiable. For years, I thought mastery was about finding the perfect indicator. Then I thought it was about iron discipline. I was wrong both times. Mastery is about integration. It's about dragging that ghost out of the shadows and into the light, so the person who makes the plan and the person who executes the trade are finally the same person. That's why I didn't just write another book on chart patterns. I built a mirror. It's called the Livermore Journal, a 90-day trading psychology workbook. You'll find the link below. This isn't a diary for tracking P&L. This is a forensic tool for tracking you. For 90 days, you won't just record entries and exits. You'll record the weather inside your head. What did you feel when you pressed the button? Not just confident, but what was beneath that arrogance? Relief. Anxiety masquerading as certainty. You'll log your physical state. Were you tired, hungry, agitated from an argument you had before the open? You'll start to see the cracks in your foundation. Oh, I only break my stops when I'm up for the month and protecting profits. I only chase momentum when I'm feeling bored and irrelevant. I only go to cash when I'm one win away from a new high because I'm terrified of giving it back. These patterns are your personal market algorithm. And right now, it's running against you. The journal gives you the structure to see it, day by day, trade by trade. And my book, Thinking Like Jesse Livermore, gives you the philosophy to understand it. Together, they're the operating system upgrade you never got. Because here is the naked truth. The market is a ruthless feedback machine. It doesn't trade the news. It doesn't trade the economy. It trades the aggregate psychology of everyone in it. And the only slice of that psychology you can ever hope to control, to refine, to harden into an edge is your own. Your emotions are not a distraction from the game. They are the game. The charts are just the scoreboard. You will trade the next 90 days. That's a guarantee. The question is, will you just be placing bets, hoping your analysis outweighs your internal chaos? Or will you be conducting a deliberate, daily excavation of the one thing that will ultimately determine your fate, the trader you see in the reflection of your monitor? The edge isn't in a better setup. It's in a better you. A you that isn't hijacked by yesterday's loss or tomorrow's fantasy. A you that can be wrong without falling apart, and right without believing the hype. That's the only edge that lasts. And it starts not with watching the market, but with finally, courageously, watching yourself. The beginner thinks, I can't miss. Time to go bigger. The veteran thinks, I've had 3 good trades, which means I'm overdue for randomness to appear. See the distinction. The beginner credits their skill for what could be luck. The veteran stays grounded, knowing the game hasn't changed, only their last few hands have. I learned this by losing sums that would stagger you. I'd have these runs where every decision was golden. Every ticket printed money. I felt untouchable. And that sensation, that intoxicating, treacherous, completely fatal sense of being untouchable, that's when I'd begin levering up, chasing more action, getting bold. Why not push it? You know what happens to traders who feel untouchable? They get erased. Not because the markets are cruel, but because feeling untouchable is just recklessness dressed up in a hero's cape. When you feel untouchable, you abandon the very habits that built your success. You dismiss risk. You bend your own rules. You start buying the legend you've become. And then comes the one trade that rewrites your story. Maybe it opens miles against you. Maybe it's just a routine loss that cripples you because your position was bloated. Maybe it's a profit you give back by shifting your stop because you're certain it'll run forever. The details don't matter. The outcome is identical. You're no longer executing a plan. You're acting out a feeling. This is where the unraveling starts. Because now you're not just facing a loss, you're facing shattered certainty. Yesterday, you were a master. Today, you're an imposter. That mental whiplash does something perilous. It makes you frantic to feel like a master again, so you approach the next trade altered. Maybe you're frozen, terrified of another hit. Or maybe you're wild, trying to win back the loss in one shot. Either path, you're not operating from balance. You're operating from reflex, from emotion, from the internal script about what that loss says about you. I saw this loop ruin one trader after another in the pits where I learned. Sharp people, studied people, people who knew the mechanics better than I ever could. But they couldn't survive the mental ride. One week they'd be celebrating, throwing money around. A month later they'd be wiped out, begging for a grub steak, promising they'd learned their lesson. The market didn't break them. The market was constant. It was the tale they spun in their own heads between the prophets and the red that sealed their fate. That's why the journal drills so deep into tracking your internal monologue. What narrative are you building about that hot streak? About that losing trade? About why you jumped out early? About why you stayed in too late? These stories play on a loop in the background, like software you never see, and they're calling the shots. Here's a piece of my own history. I realized that whenever I took a loss on a particular name, I was done with it for weeks. Not because the chart was bad, the setup could be textbook, but because in my gut, that stock had humbled me. And part of me refused to let it have another shot. I was treating the tape as if it had a memory, as if it was tallying wins and losses against me personally. Absurd, right? But I did it for years before I saw it. And I only saw it because I was logging my trades next to my thoughts. One day I wrote, flawless pattern on ABC, but I can't hit buy. Why? Oh, because I lost on this last month, and I'm still sore. Seeing those words in my own handwriting, my own logic laid bare on the page, that's what shattered the cycle. You can't cling to a fiction once you've plainly stated it to yourself. Writing it down creates just enough separation for the logical part of your brain to interrupt and say, hold on, that's crazy. The ticker doesn't know you. The exchange is indifferent. This is the power of structured self-watching. You begin to catch yourself as the pattern unfolds. You build what's called metacognition, the skill to observe your own thoughts. And in this game, that skill is more valuable than any chart pattern or oscillator. Because here's the truth I finally grasped. The market provides data, but that data is useless without honest self-awareness. If you take a loss and you can't tell if it was due to a bad premise, poor timing, sloppy execution, or just plain old statistical noise, how can you possibly adapt? You're guessing, making haphazard changes based on your mood, not the facts. The journal fixes this. It builds a ledger not only of what you did, Let me share another personal rule. I found that my decisions degraded sharply after lunch. For a long time, I couldn't understand why my post-noon trades were weaker. Eventually, that single rule, born from ruthless self-checking, likely saved me a fortune over the decades. But I never would have seen the pattern without tracking my state alongside every entry and exit. This is the clarity the journal cultivates. Week after week, you start constructing a psychological blueprint of yourself as a trader. You learn your peak hours, your blind spots, your emotional tripwires, your edges, your flaws. And with that map, you can craft a method that aligns with your mind instead of perpetually wrestling against it. Now, check below for the Livermore Journal, a 90-day trading psychology workbook on thinking like the old legends. Mastering the markets with discipline, patience, and risk management. These aren't just tools. They are investments in the most critical piece of equipment. You have your own psyche, and I want to know your story. Comment below and tell me what cycle repeats in your trading. What error do you keep making even when you know it's wrong? Let's start spotting these patterns together. And be sure to watch our other videos. We're building a full archive of real trading psychology, the kind that creates change, not just a quick dose of motivation. Here's a truth nobody shares when you first start. One I wish someone had shaken me until I understood. The market has no concept of fair. It doesn't care that your research was thorough. It doesn't care that you obeyed your checklist. It doesn't care that you earned that win. The market simply exists, and your task, your only real task, is to approach it in a condition where you can respond to what is actually happening, not what you hope is happening, what you believe ought to be happening, or what you require to be happening to feel like you're enough. That last one, that's where most traders get stuck. They need the market to affirm them, to confirm their intelligence, to justify their choices, to make them feel worthy. And the market, in its total indifference to human yearning, will dismantle anyone who comes to it needing anything. I learned this in the worst way imaginable. There was a time, after I'd built my first major fortune, when my trading shifted. I'd become known. The papers tracked my moves. Others tried to mirror my plays. And somewhere along the line, I stopped trading for profit and started trading to prove I belonged on the pedestal. Every trade became a testament. Every loss felt like an insult, as if the market was questioning my genius. Every win felt like evidence of my uniqueness. I'd turned trading into a psychological drama where I was the hero and the market was the test of my worth. You can imagine how well that worked out. Within 2 years, I'd given back millions. Not because my analysis got worse, not because market conditions changed dramatically, but because I was trading my ego instead of trading the reality in front of me. The turning point came when I was sitting in my office, staring at a position that had gone badly against me. I'd held it way too long, kept averaging down, convinced I was right and the market was wrong. I'd violated every rule I'd ever made for myself. And in that moment, I asked myself a question that changed everything. Am I trying to make money or am I trying to be right? The honest answer terrified me. I was trying to be right. I was trying to prove to the market and to myself that I was smarter than all those other traders who'd taken the other side of my position. A parent, a judge, a validator of your worth. The market is none of those things. It's just a mechanism for price discovery, utterly neutral. But viscerally, everything shifted. I stopped taking losses personally. I stopped feeling entitled to wins. I stopped needing each trade to mean something about me. This psychological shift is what the 90-day journal process is designed to create, not through philosophy or inspiration, but through daily practice, through repeatedly observing your thoughts, recognizing your patterns, and choosing different responses until those new responses become automatic. Think about it this way. Right now, you have habitual ways of responding to winning and losing. Those habits were formed unconsciously, probably in your first few months of trading. Maybe you developed the habit of revenge trading after losses. Maybe you developed the habit of getting cocky after wins. Maybe you developed the habit of checking your positions obsessively when you're anxious. These habits are running your trading right now. They're making decisions for you faster than your conscious mind can intervene. And unless you deliberately create new habits to replace them, they'll keep running your trading forever. The journal is how you create those new habits. Day 1, you probably won't notice much. You'll track your trades. You'll start catching yourself mid-pattern and making different choices. Day 90, you'll be a different trader. Not because the market changed, risk management, and disciplined execution. Now, imagine sitting down to trade. You look at a potential setup. Instead of immediately reacting, either jumping in or talking yourself out of it, you pause. You check in with yourself. What am I feeling right now? Am I calm or agitated? Am I following my plan or improvising? Is this trade based on analysis or on needing to do something? That pause, that space between stimulus and response, that's freedom. That's where professional trading lives. In that pause, you can choose your action instead of being driven by unconscious patterns. You can trade based on what the market is showing you instead of what your psychological wounds need it to show you. This isn't theory. This is how I rebuilt my career after nearly destroying it. This is how I went from being a talented but erratic trader to being someone who could consistently extract profits from the market. Not by getting smarter about analysis. I was always good at analysis, by getting smarter about myself. And here's the beautiful thing. This work compounds. Every day you practice observing yourself, you get better at it. Every time you catch a pattern and choose differently, you weaken the old habit and strengthen the new one. Every time you trade from a centered place instead of an emotional place, you prove to yourself that it's possible. After 90 days of this deliberate practice, you've literally rewired your brain through repetition and conscious attention. The things that used to trigger you don't anymore. The situations that used to make you act impulsively now create a pause where you can choose. That's not hyperbole. That's neuroscience. Your brain is plastic. It changes based on what you repeatedly practice. Right now, you've practiced unconscious emotional trading. The journal helps you practice conscious discipline trading until that becomes your new normal. So, here's my challenge to you. Don't just watch this video and nod along. Click the link in the description right now. Get the Livermore Journal, a 90-day trading psychology workbook. Get thinking like Jesse Livermore. Mastering the market with discipline, patience, and risk. Start today. Not tomorrow, not next week, today. Because here's the truth, 90 days from now, you'll wish you'd started today. You'll look back and think, I could already be 45 days into this transformation. Or worse, you'll still be making the same mistakes. Still frustrated by the gap between what you know intellectually and what you do practically. Still wondering why your intelligence can't save you from your psychology. The market will still be there 90 days from now. The question is, will you be the same trader or will you be the trader you're capable of becoming? I've given you the map. I've shown you the territory. I've handed you the tools that took me decades and multiple fortunes to develop. The rest is up to you. The transformation starts today. Your trading future is being determined by the choice you make in this moment. Make the right choice. The links are in the description. Your 90-day journey to psychological mastery starts the moment you decide it does. I'll see you on the other side as the trader you were always meant to be.